Hey, this is John Martinez with the REI Sales Academy, and this video is for any investor that's trying to figure out where their sales process is breaking down. How do you identify exactly what that point is so you know what to work on and how to fix it? In other words, if you know your conversions are low, for one reason or another, you just, hey, I'm producing this many leads, I expected to get more out of it, why am I not? I'm going to give you a quick strategy, a few things to look at that's going to help you identify exactly where leads are falling out of the pipeline. And I look at this a lot like I'm reminded of when I was a kid, one of my favorite summertime things to do was to play on the slip and slide. We didn't have a slip and slide, we actually had a crocodile mile, and you'd slide down and you'd go through the crocodile's teeth and you'd go into the pool. But on the crocodile mile, they broke all the time. Like, we had to get a new one every week because we just tore them up. But before we got a new one, we always tried to patch up what was ever broken and fix it, because we knew it was going to be a big thing when we asked our parents, and we'd get in trouble and they'd push back, but then they wouldn't want us in the house, so they'd eventually buy it. But we try to fix it before we ask for a new one. So in other words, we're trying to look for, with the crocodile mile, where's the leak? Because what happened was you plug the hose into one end and it'd shoot water all the way down. And it'd keep the slip and slide wet, and it'd keep the pool at the end filled up with water too. And if there was a leak anywhere along that pipeline, water would stop and you'd get halfway through the slip and slide and then you'd stop sliding, or you'd slide all the way into the pool but there'd be no water in it, and obviously that didn't feel good to jump into a pool with no water in it. So we'd always have to find where's the leak. And this is a lot like finding the leak in your sales pipeline. So you just systematically want to look through it. And we learned that there were a few spots where the crocodile mile would always rip, and we'd learn to identify them quickly, patch it up, and move on. Now, here's how you do that with your sales process. There's actually 3 points where leads typically fall out of the funnel, just like the old crocodile mile. Now, the first one is going to be in the first part of your sales call, which you should be covering motivation. Motivation is essential for any deal to go down in the REI environment, right? Selling a house quickly, deep discount for cash type of thing. So motivation. So the first place to look is, are these people motivated? Are we asking them about motivation? Are we digging deep into the conversation? Are we bringing motivation to the surface and living there for a moment so they feel this urgency to take action? Because without motivation, without feeling that urgency to take action, well, there's no urgency to take action, and they're not going to take action. So the first place to always look is, are my sales reps, or if I'm on the sales call, is my conversation digging into motivation and staying there long enough that people feel this urgency to take some type of action? Now, if we say yes, that box is checked, we want to go a little bit further down the pipeline. And next thing we want to do is look at what we call deal killers. All right, there's motivation. We got water getting to that point. Leads are getting to that point, fine. And they're getting past it. There's no leak there. Deal killers is where you might have a lot of leads falling out. You might have a leak there. Deal killers are anything that stops someone from taking action, even if they want to take action. So this usually revolves around relationships. Are they getting input? Is there an influencer who's telling them no, or I recommend against this? Are they still sorting out other options, buying, listing, keeping, rehabbing themselves, and so on? That's another one. There's risk and discomfort. Do they not exactly know how they're going to get rid of their stuff, where they're going to go, or are they just uncomfortable with the process? They don't know how it all works. They might not trust you completely. Is that it? And there's a number of other deal killers. Those are the most important ones to address. But are they not moving forward? Are they falling out of your funnel because they haven't addressed that deal killer? So if that's what's happening, then you want to obviously spend more time in those things. Get a checklist. Hey, you can literally say, hey, assuming you like the price, you want to do this thing, what's everything that might cause you to stop, or at least have to pause and figure out, how am I going to actually pull this off? What do I need to figure out? What do I need to think about? Who do I need to talk to before I can commit to this? Then you can help them work through those problems. Now, if you're hitting motivation and you're hitting deal killers, and you're getting to a presentation and an offer, and you're just getting a lot of I'd say no's, but most people don't give you no's. They give some form of maybe or think it over. Let me check with this person. Let me do this. Let me talk to some other investors. Let me get some other offers. Let me sleep on it. If you get any version of that, and you know that your motivation and your deal killer box, those are checked, Then the problem is with your close. And the most common problem with the close, assuming that you presented to their specific situation and you laid out your offer in terms of their specific motivations and deal killers, then the problem with the close is usually that you are letting them get away with it maybe or think it over, where really you need to adopt the philosophy of when you get to the end, anything other than a yes is a no. And it doesn't mean that you're a jerk about it. It doesn't mean that you get upset or you're mean or it's like a sour grape situation. It just means, hey, listen, after everything we've talked about, if you're not confident, if you don't feel really good, like this is what we need to do, it probably means that this needs to be a no. And unfortunately, I'm gonna go see another house after this. I see 5 to 10 houses a week, and I just can't leave, open-ended contracts for real estate out there because the market changes so quickly. And if I buy one, I might not want to buy another, and so forth. So no sweat, no hard feelings on my side. But if it's not a yes, unfortunately, we need to call it a no. And that's the proper way to close without pressure, manipulation, and obviously there's lots of other pieces in between there. But those are the 3 main ones: motivation, deal killers, or the close. So if you know that leads are leaking out of your pipeline, take a real hard look at each one of those things and try to button those down. And once you do, I guarantee you're gonna start seeing better results. You're gonna convert more of your leads into deals, and most likely you're gonna do those at deeper and deeper discounts the better you get at that process.